Hello, I'm think I'm now finally connected. Sorry for the delay because we have connection problems as it seems with this system. Um, I am very happy to meet you digitally, of course, to connect with you through this activity of ERUA, of our ERUA, and to these online master classes, which in my mind are something quite innovative for the ERUA itself and for, let's say, the connection between our students and regions and the academic experience. I don't want to take your time because I am already in delay. I'm supposed only to salute this activity and tell you one, two, or three things very quickly about the general frame of this project. We are uh, we are within the ERUA Alliance, the first part of the ERUA Alliance, because the ERUA Alliance has already extended, and we are waiting the good news of the success of this new step. But anyway, either the first ERUA or the second ERUA, we are within an alliance which tries to reimagine the university. The words are not very strong, and the words are very, how to say, sometimes stereotyped, but the real endeavor, the real stake for the ERUA Alliance is to prove that we can be critical and we can empower our students to participate to common projects. We need to understand what is innovation, and we need to understand that innovation must be connected with initiatives not only from the academicians but mainly on behalf of the students and in relation with societies. We need to understand our university as a university open, exactly, not only to life but to society, precisely. We need to make real that we can make a difference in the university landscape. And of course, we need to understand what is sustainability in academical fora, in academical spaces, and foster on sustainability. And the ERUA project, if we can can summarize our objectives. It's centered to three main objectives. The first objective is to build a renewed ERUA community with an interconnected green campus. This is, in fact, also the objectives of our first ERUA Hackathon. The second objective is consolidating the student-centered and reforms educational framework. You see that all these objectives are not very out of what we are speaking about, of our common and daily discussions in the frame of the academia. The third objective is serving global societal challenges to shape a more just, open, and inclusive society. The aspiration of this hackathon is to reframe these three ERUA objectives through three flagship initiatives, which are the joint degrees, of course, as far as concerning the second objectives, the increasing of mobility opportunities, physical and virtual, as far as concerning the first objectives, and of course, as far as concerning the third objective, the serving of global societal challenges, to create research-based clusters with interdisciplinary and reformist approaches. And of course, I need to say again and again that we don't know from the beginning what is innovation, but through our collaboration and through our initiatives, we can build a conception which is societally creative about all these kind of objectives and initiatives. The thematic areas that are the areas that we see our activities developed is the first is the migration and the exile and the refugees, and we are trying to build a master on migrant receptions with a specialization on minors. A second thematic area is the environmental transition, and of course we are problematized about the climate change, and we need to create projects working on that area. The third area is democracy and human rights, inclusion, of course, and gender equality. Then interculturality and multilingualism, and finally art and edges. We need to create some ERUA biennales with research, research results, dialogues and practices. We need to deconstruct and construct our concepts about these thematic areas and create events and open, creative and innovative spaces like Hackathon is one of these creative space. All this activity is developed within the frame of our UAGian work package, which is working on the reimagination of the campus. There are three specific areas of development of our events and of our activities and of our research efforts. The first area is the digital reform and the digitalization. We need, of course, to understand the student activity through the digital mobility. We need to understand that we have to face the open communities based on collaborative spaces, and we need to create creative hubs, digital hubs, where all kinds of different groups of people that are working together, student researchers, scientists, teachers, mentors, technologists, designers, and artists, all together they can build this collaborative space. And of course, in order to regain our connection with the regions and the local societies, we will try to open an interregional platform, which is a collaborative space in order to solve, to find, to formulate, and to solve. If we can use these kind of words. Solve is not a word that is, let's say, something final, is better an idea of deal with the problems, local problems and societal challenges. And we need to understand what are our sharing values and sharing experiences, and to understand what are really our human resources. The second area of work in our work package is the aphoria and sustainability. We have used the concept of aphoria, which is a Greek concept, which is in our mind very rich in connotations. And we speak here about the blue-green mobility and transport initiative by students. We try to understand which could be the wasteland, generate and scale up activities in reduction, reuse, and recycling. We try to approach in a how to say collaborative and somehow innovative way this kind of three re-S, which are of course something which is not very new itself. And we need to create a knowledge base in aphoria. That means sustainable development of social ecology in campuses and regions, and of course a digital campus could be a target for our the creation of digital campus could be a target for our work package. And finally, my preferred area, imagining the campus through the creativity in euphoria. This is the ERUA house. This is the house of ERUA Hackathon, in fact. And here we have that we are dealing with today is to create a group of students and young people who will be able to connect their research with the regions through the opening of creative spaces. Students who can be inspired and inspire, who can be challenged and challenge all these kind of thematics. And of course, here we have also our science shops initiative, which of course is a community-based participatory research and education project. And of course, we need to understand how we can have sharing funding opportunities for scholarships, internships, and common projects. You see again the opening of collaborative spaces is very important for us. We need to see connected events, experiments, and courses, and digitalks, and we need to see our students have the initiative to organize all that with our regional partners. So I hope I was very quick, and I wish you all the best for this meeting today. And I'm very happy to host you again in our Aegean collaborative creative space. Bye-bye.
Good evening from Mytilene. Welcome to the first ERUA Hackathon 2023. My name is Theologos Athanasselis. I'm working for Special Managing Authority of North Aegean Region, and I will give a short talk about the impact of EU funds on the development of North Aegean region and each island particularly. North Aegean. What do we know about North Aegean? The islands are very close to the coast of Asia Minor, represent an international border between the European Union and Turkey. Unfortunately, last years they have been a major arrival point for refugees from the Middle East, which has strained local resources. Let's see more things about demographics. Population 220,000 permanent residents. Half of them live on the islands of Lesbos and Chios, fifth and sixth most populated islands respectively. The islands have traditionally strong rural character. All the islands are very strong to agri-food, tourism, and also water resources. North Aegean in numbers, 11.8 thousand per capita GDP, statistics year 2018, two renovated airports, and 1% of the visitors among all the Greek regions. Regional opportunities. As I said before, tourism, infrastructure and logistics, and agri-food. And the key facts, we talk about unique producers of food and beverages products like local wines, Mastica and Ouzo, and growing tourism economy with investment in accommodation, marinas, and other infrastructures. From this slide, we can see the nights spent in tourist accommodation per 1,000 inhabitants. In this row, we can see Greece and especially Βόρειο North Aegean, the nights spent in tourist accommodation. Here is the map of Europe with different colors, regions with different colors. What we can see that the competitiveness index of North Aegean islands are less than -1. And here is the innovation performance all over the EU regions. And we can see at this column Greece, the statistics, and Βόρειο is not the last, is let's say in the middle with 63 score, when Greece, the average is 78. SWOT analysis for our islands. Where we are strong. We have rich and relatively unspoiled biodiversity. We have strong tourism with natural advantages, quality food and drinks products with designated origin protection, university as both a means of attracting skilled students and graduates and of developing and diffusing technologies into regional firms. And also we have strong agencies, regional governmental agencies. Weakness, insularity, leads to a higher relative cost for businesses operating from the islands. Fragmented business structures with small size of firms and lack of critical mass. Lack of quality business support services. Aging population. University remains largely disconnected from regional enterprises even if there are ad hoc cases of cooperation. Opportunities. Underexploited tourism potential from Turkey and other nearby non-EU countries. Underutilized potential of clustering of regional firms. Mastic producers model has been replicated by other sectors. Rich potential for new products and services based on specific characteristics and culture of each of the islands. A relatively good level of digital network connection and proven usage of internet potential. Threats. External migration leading to a brain drain. Potential conflict between further development of tourism and island biodiversity. Regional development planning may continue to fail to take account of business needs and focus on infrastructure. Lack of experience in designing and implementing innovation type measures. a risk of continued lack of a joined-up regional development policy across programs and funds, and of mainstreaming of successful actions. EU funding. When we talk about EU fundings, the first thing we can assume is European Regional Development Fund, the Cohesion Fund, and the European Social Fund Plus. It's a new term according to the program 2021-2027. Let's see some things about European Regional Development Funds. Provides funding to public and private bodies in all EU regions to reduce economic, social and territorial disparities. The fund supports investments through dedicated national or regional programs. Smart specialization. What is smart specialization? Let's see some things about smart specialization. We have the EU funds, and for North Aegean, we talk about North Aegean Operational Program. There is a bridge, the smart specialization, and in order to have smart specialization, we need entrepreneurial discovery process. For what purpose? In order to design a regional innovation strategy. And here is the governance of our strategy, regional innovation strategy in North Aegean. The regional governor and the innovation committee. Under the governor, there is the public service of development, the special manager I'm working for, and the office. Also, in some other groups, working groups for tourism, for agri-food, and for culture. The Special Management Authority of the North Aegean Operational Programme has been established by decision of the Ministry of Development, and it is assigned directly to the Regional Authority of the North Aegean. The object of the Managing Authority is to manage and monitor actions and projects implemented within the administrative boundaries of the region of North Aegean under the Regional Operational Programme North Aegean 2014-2020. At the same time, within the framework of the EU funds 2014-2020, it manages both the Cohesion Fund and the European Cultural and Rural Development. North Aegean Operational Programme. This program aims to boost economic development and create job opportunities in the islands of North Aegean. Contributes to achieving the Europe targets for smart, sustainable and inclusive growth, also in line with the smart specialization strategy. Should create jobs and help SMEs to become more competitive and outward-looking. EU funding will also contribute to addressing the pressing need for complying with EU requirements in the field of the environment and to increase energy efficiency. Funding priorities. Halting the decline in the productive and entrepreneurial activity. A reinforcement of the attractiveness, competitiveness and export orientation of the islands, in particular of the SMEs, and increase of regional added value with innovation. Development, exploitation and increase of human resources. Infrastructures for supporting human resources, improving the health and the social care infrastructure. Environmental protection and transition to an environmentally friendly economy with sufficient resources for development, employment and climate change. Sustainable infrastructures necessary for growth and employment. Thematic priorities. We can see the distribution of a total budget of, let's say, 269 million euros. First, we have the environmental protection, competitiveness of SMEs, social inclusion, network infrastructures in transport, education and vocational training, low carbon economy, climate change, research and innovation, information and communication technologies, technical assistance, and sustainable and quality employment. What is smart specialization? Smart specialization is an innovative approach that aims to boost growth and jobs in Europe by enabling each region to identify and develop its own competitive advantages. What do we need in order to make this smart specialization? We need an entrepreneurial discovery process. What is entrepreneurial discovery process? Entrepreneurial discovery is a participatory, active process of identifying and prioritizing key activities that link research and innovation to economic growth and social well-being, taking into account the particularities and the potential of the country and each one of its regions. Regional innovation strategy for North Aegean. We talk about equal growth opportunities across the islands, tourism, culture and nature, agri-food, best quality products, innovation and local entrepreneurship, ICT for tourism, ICT for culture, ICT for agriculture. Here we have some statistics. We can see during the past period of 7 years what we have implemented according to our program. We funded private and public research infrastructures. We give money for e-health services, new technologies for promoting the cultural heritage for small cities and for big cities, creation of a mechanism for monitoring regional innovation strategy, cooperation between small and medium enterprises and innovation bodies, strengthening of existing SMEs with an emphasis on this strategy, e-gov in the region, supporting SMEs for the use of ICT technologies, funding for the COVID-19 crisis, and also funding for touristic businesses. What we have implemented so far? We established a regional innovation strategy governance. Also, we established an innovation office, funding of SMEs for COVID-19 crisis, public research infrastructures, Mastiha Research Center, businesses funding, digital funding, and also combining innovation bodies with businesses. In order to transform economy for a sustainable future, the North Aegean region hosts only a small number of ICT companies, despite reduced tax rates for VAT, as well as the lower operational costs. However, the use of innovative ICT can be of benefit in almost all of the major business sectors. Tourism, agriculture, fishing, and construction can achieve significant competitive improvements if they apply modern ICT tools in the production and marketing chains. Challenges. Economic crisis decreases the number of people, and especially skilled workers, which want to stay or to move into this isolated region, as in North Aegean. Local entrepreneurs find it difficult to differentiate their products and services from competition within and outside Greece. Local workforce finds it difficult to constantly adapt to technological innovations. There is no clear strategies that offer access to seed and venture capital beyond bank loans. There are no clear policy to attract university and other R&D institutions, especially the lifelong education in the region. There is no clear policy for tourism, old infrastructures, low private R&D investments. What do we hope? We hope that our operational program give the advantages to the private and the public service to make North Aegean better. Thank you very much. I finish.
Good evening. Thank you very much for this invitation. I am delighted to be with you today and share some of my vision for green entrepreneurship. My name is Argyro Kuchuradi. I was born and I live on Chios Island. In 2010, I entered Democritius University of Thrace in northern Greece, School of Agriculture, Department of Agricultural Development. My academic studies, in combination with the rich flora of Chios Island, were the strongest source of inspiration for my future and professional career and nourished my interest in the cultivation of aromatic plants and herbs. In 2015, I went to the University Lille 2 in Lille of France as an Erasmus exchange student, where I carried out a research about the effect of spearmint extract on the reduction of the levels of juvenile onset diabetes at the Hospital University Albert Calmet. I intended to return to my island Chios to apply the knowledge I had acquired in order to contribute to the green development of my hometown. I pursued my master's studies at the Agricultural University of Athens, Department of Plant Production, in the field of agriculture, with a specialization in plant improvement and agricultural experimentation. Further specialization in aromatic herbs and plants. In collaboration with my parents, who have always supported me with my endeavors, despite the fact that they had not occupied themselves in past with the primary sector, and in order to pursue my professional goals. At the same time, with my graduate studies, I started cultivating organic aromatic plants, and 3 years later, I have been certified. So we started with plants, the first 10 acres and 8 different species of aromatic plants. The selection of species was based on commercial and could be cultivated on Chios Island. Today, we cultivate 40 acres and 15 different species of aromatic plants and herbs like oregano, thyme, chamomile, samphire, caper, sage, lavender, rosemary, lemon balm, mountain tea, verbena, and spearmint. Our brand name, Myrovolos Organics, highlights the uniqueness of the island of Chios. It is worth nothing that Chios Island has been called Myrovolos due to the scents and aromas of its land. The term organics suggested the bio-cultivation of our products as they are produced and processed under bioagriculture standards. In order to set up a profitable business, we develop a vertical unit from seeding to planting, cultivation, harvesting, packaging, and after the shipping, so that we receive the added value of our product. In 2018, we went on the market and our products are found almost all over in Greece. Our products are exported to countries abroad in Europe, United States, and Dubai. A challenge we had to deal with was the communication channels, and that we need the students' help. We need to find new markets to expand our products, as well as new effective ways of marketing. We also need your help with digital marketing solution, which is a domain of rising importance. We would like to thank you in advance, and we look forward to hearing your ideas and receiving your contribution. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you very much for the invitation, and I'd like to thank the speakers, that Professor Theodoropoulos, first of all, and Mr. Athanaselis for making also the link with what I'll present to you. Let me try to share my presentation, otherwise I'll ask Ms. Gota to share it. Just a sec. I hope you can see it. Marichello, could you please confirm? Okay, thank you. So, I'm sorry, with this new platform, I'm totally not familiar. Just a sec. Okay, so here I am. I hope it's fine now. Okay, so a few words about the Conference of Peripheral Maritime Regions, the CPMR that I work for and represent here today. The CPMR is an association of some 150 regions from all over Europe. As our name says, we represent the peripheral and maritime regions from the different sea basins of Europe and also beyond. We have members across Europe and some in Africa. And our role as a think tank and a lobby for our members, the regions, is mainly focused on specific policy areas such as cohesion, transport, maritime policies, climate and energy, and migration. And we are structured. So what happened now? Okay. Thank you, Markella. Thank you. I thought. No. Okay. Let me try again. I'm sorry for this. That's why we need to. Okay, once again, and hopefully now it will work.
Okay, so these things happen. We have some technical issues with Mr. Kalognomos, so we are now going to continue on with Mr. Katsounis. Can you hear us?
Yes, good afternoon. Can you hear me, Markella?
Yes, very well, thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. We are waiting for sharing my presentation. Can you see it?
Not yet.
Okay.
I think it needs a bit of time to upload. You can introduce yourself in the meantime, however.
Okay, my name is Ioannis Katsounis. I am a PhD candidate and researcher in the University of the Aegean at the Department of Shipping, Trade and Transport. My research focuses on the development of island regions in the European Union and Greece, and the contribution of the blue economy to social cohesion and sustainable development in these areas. So, great. You can see it now. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, thank you. In this presentation, I will present you secondary data available from Eurostat, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which reflect the socioeconomic situation in Greece in the light of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. It refers to the evolution of indicators such as the gross domestic product, the unemployment rate, the number of people at risk of poverty and social exclusion, the percentage of young people not in education, employment, or training, etc. Next slide, please. Over the past decade, Greece has been at the center of global attention due to the economic crisis that erupted in 2009 and resulted in the country being subjected to fiscal adjustment programs. The austerity policies imposed on the countries of the European South, and especially Greece, resulted in a slowdown of development and an increase in inequalities compared to the economically strong European Union countries. Next slide, please. The data analysis carried out below shows that the financial crisis has had a negative impact on the achievement of social cohesion and sustainable development in island regions, which were already vulnerable due to their permanent characteristics, such as the small size of their islands, their monoculture economies, and their insularity. Insularity is the common characteristic of all islands, regardless of their size, population, and degree of development, and consists of the following characteristics. First of all, islands have a small area, small population, and limited natural resources. Due to the small population, the development of a large market and economies of scale cannot be created, while the limited natural resources make environmental management necessary to achieve conservation of the natural environment. Secondly, enterprises, households, and the state require high costs to operate and maintain, and costs are measured in time as transport is carried out exclusively by public means, and it depends on the type of transport mode, the density of routes, and the distance. In money, due to the high transport costs and the high prices of the goods and services. And furthermore, higher the costs of construction and operation of necessary infrastructure and services, such as structures of education, health, administrative services, energy, and water. Thirdly, islands have a special and rich, but also fragile natural and cultural environment. Due to the isolation and small size of the islands, priceless terrestrial and marine ecosystems and species have been created. In addition, many island monuments and settlements have been recognized as sites of national, European, or world cultural heritage. Next slide, please. The North Aegean region is one of the 13 regions and one of the 4 island regions of Greece, and it consists of 10 islands located on the eastern border of Greece and the European Union. Next, please. Thank you. The mapping of social and economic conditions in the North Aegean region was carried out through the analysis of a system of indicators linked to social cohesion and covering the whole range of the 3 dimensions of sustainable development: social, economic, and environmental. And of course, the 17 SDGs. In this way, it is possible to record and compare the performance of the North Aegean region with the rest of the Greek regions, with the national average and with the average of the 27 European Union member states. Next slide, please. Here are some indicators. The number of people at risk of poverty in Greece increased significantly during the economic crisis. The North Aegean region has the 3rd worst performance among all Greek regions and the worst performance among Greek island regions. Next, please. Although the North Aegean region also recorded a significant improvement in this indicator about early rivers from education and training, it recorded the 2nd worst performance among the Greek regions. Next. The percentage of higher education graduates in Greece appears slightly higher than in European Union member states. We can say that Greek citizens invested in their education during the financial crisis, and the North Aegean is ranked 6th among the Greek regions. One of the most important problems in Greece and in the European Union is people not in education and employment and training. And this is a phenomenon more visible in the island regions. Next slide, please. This phenomenon lies in the accumulation of social vulnerability and results in social exclusion. We can conclude this problem existed before the outbreak of the economic crisis and that it is a permanent feature of the islands. Next, please. And now some economic indicators. The average gross domestic product expressed in terms of purchasing power per inhabitant decrease is 66% of the European Union average, and the North Aegean region ranked last among the Greek regions, having suffered the largest decrease compared to 2009. The last economic indicator in the next slide. We can say that undoubtedly the unemployment rate in Greece skyrocketed during the country's fiscal adjustment, and the North Aegean recorded the fourth worst performance among the 13 Greek regions. And now, this is the bright side of life. In the next slide, please. Even though insularity creates obstacles, islands can be places where opportunities can be developed by exploiting their advantages. However, they are challenged to achieve recovery and sustainability by having fewer resources at their disposal compared to mainland regions. Moreover, islands can be, next slide please, islands can be ideal laboratories for studying sustainability, and they are also cradles of experimentation for scientists as they have greater scope for social innovation. It is imperative that after this period of the financial crisis, a new model of sustainable development is pursued that ensures a balance among social justice, economic efficiency, and environmental preservation. So we look forward to your contribution using your creativity to find sustainable ideas. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Katsounis, for giving us an insight on North Aegean Islands characteristics and for the inspiring words for our participants. We would invite Mr. Kalognomos to continue his presentation.
I'm back. Thank you very much. Just tell me how much time I have at my disposal so that I can adapt myself. First of all, let me try to share my screen now.
Yes, please.
So I hope you can see it because I can't see you right now. So if you can tell me. Is it fine now? I
It's
hope
okay,
so.
Stavros. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, as I said, we are an association of regions, regional authorities. The region of North Aegean is one of our some 150 member regions from all over Europe and beyond, a member of the Balkan Black Sea Commission that I work for, and as an association of regions, we are an official interlocutor of the European institutions. That means that we work closely with the European Commission and the European Parliament, as well as the Council. And we act both as a think tank and a lobby for our members. That means that we work with our members both on policies, so we promote their interests at policy level, and we implement the different EU policies through EU-funded projects of cooperation. This allows us to get back to the European instruments, to the European institutions with useful feedback so that they can further improve the different policies and better plan for the future. As I said before, the CPMR is an association structured at 6 geographical commissions that correspond to the main sea basins of Europe. And there is also the Islands Commission that represents the islands from all over Europe. It's up to the different member regions to choose the geographical commission that meets their priorities and join. But still, apart from the job we do, apart from the work we do at the different geographical commissions level, they all work together through the CPMR under the umbrella of our organization. So you may see a few pictures of our lobbying activities as well. Since we are an official interlocutor of the Commission and the Parliament, we are almost everywhere and always there for our members when it comes to policies that concern the regional authorities. And we bring in our experience and expertise. And as I said, so the members are the regional authorities, but when it comes to implement the different policies or to work on projects, we work with different institutions based across our membership. That means that we work with universities, with centers of research, with NGOs, municipalities, and so on. That's why we have a very close cooperation also with the University of the Aegean, and I'd like to thank all the team of the University of the Aegean for that. As I said before, our priority areas are mainly these ones. However, it depends on our members to ask us and to add additional thematics and topics that we work on. That means that tourism that you don't see here, it's also part of what we do because there is an increased interest from different CPMR members. So we add tourism to our work, both policy and projects work. I have, when you'll receive the presentation, you'll find all the links on the photos. I've added them. And as an official interlocutor of the European Parliament as well, we hold the secretariat support of the Seas, Rivers, Islands and Coastal Areas Intergroup, SIRICA. This is an intergroup. It's mainly the biggest maritime forum in Brussels that gathers not only members of the European Parliament, but stakeholders and key actors from across Europe and allows them to exchange on emerging issues, on their priorities, on different challenges they face, and try to find common ways of action. Among the vice chairs of the SIRICA, we have also two Greek MEPs. We have Mr. Kokalis, who is responsible for the Blue Economy, Maritime Industries and Ports portfolio, and Mr. Meimarakis, who is in charge of the Tourism and Mediterranean portfolio. What we do, just to bring it closer to the region of North Aegean and Greece. So in the Adriatic-Ionian region and the wider Black Sea region where Greece belongs to, we are present through three different geographical commissions: the Balkan and the Black Sea one, the Mediterranean, and the Islands Commissions. There is a task force for the Adriatic-Ionian region. I'll get back to it in a while because I have some fresh news. This week in Brussels, it's the macro-regional week, and I just had a meeting with the tourism coordinator of the Adriatic-Ionian macro region, and I have some relevant news that are surely of interest to the University of the Aegean, and I hope of some of our participants. So we have a task force co-chaired by the regions of Ionian Islands and Marke, and we also coordinate the INUREC Plus initiative that focuses mainly on sustainable tourism, culture and creative industries, and circular economy, with youth as a transversal priority. In the wider Black Sea region, because Greece is in both regions, and in fact, the University of the Aegean is also a member of the Black Sea Universities Network. So for the wider Black Sea region, the CPMR is present through its Balkan Black Sea Commission. In the past, the North Aegean region had the presence of this commission. And we also have a memorandum of understanding and a cooperation agreement with BISEC, so the organization for the Black Sea Economic Cooperation based in Istanbul, with 13 member states. Greece and Bulgaria that are involved in ERUA are also members of BSEC. We have an MOU with PSAMI, so the Black Sea Association of Maritime Institutions, with NALED in Serbia, covering the Western Balkans part of our commission. So it's the National Association of Local Development, and with the ICBSS, the International Center for Black Studies. With these organizations, among others, we also do common EU-funded projects. So how does it work, and why the regions matter, and why we are here today to hopefully not waste your time? So since the regional authorities are together with the local authorities, that means the municipalities are closer than other institutions, and for sure than the central state, to the citizens and to the local stakeholders, we can say that we have a bottom-up approach. So we have feedback from our members, the regional authorities that work closely with the local authorities and regionally based stakeholders, and we promote their voices, we make them heard at the EU level. So, for the case of the Balkan Black Sea Commission, together with our member regions, we have an action plan. We elaborate it together, and we adapt it every 2 years to the latest trends and new needs for our region. For instance, I've put on my presentation what we have have been working with the region of Western Greece about culture and creative regional ecosystems. So we have the action plan to see how we'll go for different EU funded projects, or how we will lobby for our interests and try to have our interests heard and reflected at the different EU policies. And some project examples I've put here to show you that it's not only policy work. Some members are quite worried when they hear policy work, because they think it's just blah blah and nothing concrete behind it. No, in fact, the policy work is always needed because it paves the way for EU funding as well, that comes through projects and other funds. So I have also some projects here on my slide, and the ISOLMED one that we had that we have the honor to have the University of the Aegean as our lead partner, and the University of the Aegean is also a MINEMI partner. So these are just a few examples to see how it works, especially when it comes to youth, because these three projects, together with iNUREC Plus, are mainly focused on youth. And I have some upcoming some news that may be of interest to you in a while. So here are the examples of MINEM and ISOLMED, sorry for that, and the CCRES 3. So this is a partnership co-led by 3 active CPMR members. So they worked, they did policy work, and in fact it started just to see a bit how regional cooperation goes beyond borders and beyond macro-regional strategies and sea basins. CCRES 3 started as an Adriatic-Ionian initiative. It was a deliverable of iNUREC project, but it developed. We worked together with the coordinators of Pillar 4 of the Adriatic-Ionian macro region. I'll say briefly that the Adriatic-Ionian macro region consists of 10 countries. That means Greece, Albania, North Macedonia, Serbia, Montenegro, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Slovenia, Italy, and San Marino. But the first focus of this partnership was the Adriatic-Ionian macro region, but it went beyond it, and it's open to different stakeholders from all over Europe. It is co-led by 3 active CPMR member regions. The region of Western Greece is in charge of our Adriatic-Ionian and wider Black Sea region. And we also have the region of North Aegean as a CCRES3 member. And I'd like to thank Mr. Athanasselis for the nice lead-in. And you see a bit how these S3, so these smart specialization strategies work, and how the different partnerships under the industrial modernization platform, that is CCRES3, cooperate and produce results and apply for bankable projects. So this is something open to all Europe and open to regional stakeholders, also from the region of North Aegean, that is a CCRES3 partner. I'll speed up because I know that my time is limited. Some examples from other sea basins, since we discuss youth priorities today. So the Intermediterranean Commission has specific working groups and task force that are also maritime focused, that are tourism focused. They cooperate with the Mediterranean Youth Council or the North Sea Commission of the CPMR that has a youth initiative. And it's very interesting to see how youth representatives from different sea basins of Europe exchange what their priorities are, sometimes what the age limits are. I knew that for Northern Europe, for instance, young people were considered up to the age of 25. Today, I was told that for the Baltic, they changed it to the age of 35, for instance, that it comes closer to the Southern European standards. And back to the Adriatic-Ionian region, because I'm sure that some of our participants will join. Just to let you know that from the 23rd to the 25th of May in Sarajevo, there will be the annual EUSR Forum. Bosnia and Herzegovina has the chairmanship of the EUSR strategy until the end of May. Then the Croatian chairmanship follows. Fortunately, the forum will be held on hybrid format. So registration is open, so please feel free to register. And we also co-organize with our INUREC Plus partners and that's CPMR some circular economy and youth-focused events. Something else I'd like to underline is that we launched an INUREC Plus study on circular economy open to academia and students. I apologize for the background noise. So we have shared the link with the University of the Aegean. The ERUA members, they can forward it to you. Your feedback is more than welcome because it will help us better work for the strategy. Just to mention that we will use also the feedback for the revision of the action plan of the Adriatic-Ionian strategy that is currently ongoing. And we will also launch soon some calls for internships under the INUREC Plus project. And we'll share with the ERUA members of the University of the Aegean this piece of information as well. Thank you very much for your attention. Just some backstage information I just got today, and that are relevant to what we discuss. So, as I said, the Croatian presidency of EUSR will start from the beginning of June this year, and they are planning to have a conference on the 21st of June on sustainable nautical tourism in Zagreb. We know that Professor Lekakou from the University of the Aegean participated in an INUREC Plus side event on nautical tourism. So just to see a bit how it works. One event brings another one, and we share the feedback and the input we have from our speakers and the members with the policymakers. So this will be held in Zagreb on the 21st of June. I don't know yet the exact format. And there is also a study about the attitude of the visitors in the Adriatic-Ionian region. So this is part of the lobbying activity we do. And we'll get back to the University of the Aegean as well and the region of North Aegean for their very much appreciated feedback. Thank you once again for your attention and for your understanding with the technical issues I had.
It's okay. Thank you very much, Stavros, for providing the European perspective. I would like to invite Mrs. Kova to continue. Thank you very much for your patience.
Good evening. Good evening to everyone. My name is Maria Kova. I work for HIOS Tourism Office of the North Aegean region, and I'm going to try to give you a brief idea about the situation in HIOS tourism. Let me try and share my screen. I don't know if you can see. Can you see my screen now?
Not yet, but maybe we should wait a moment for it to be uploaded. I think it's starting to show. Okay, we can now see your screen.
Okay.
Perfect.
HIOS is located opposite to the coast of Asia Minor. The tourism sector in HIOS is rather small. I wouldn't like to bore you with numbers. Numbers are available to everyone who is interested from our office. The tourism sector in HIOS is characterized by some basic contradictions. Although HIOS is situated in the worldwide famous Aegean Sea, its brand name in tourism as a tourist destination is still weak. And in spite being one of the largest Mediterranean islands, in fact, the fifth largest island of Greece, it still has a small tourism sector, and tourism infrastructure is not corresponding to the island's size and economy. There are few hotel beds, there is a small airport, which now is being extended, and a small port. It also has plenty of resources, yet not enough organized, sufficient, and diversified tourism services and products. HIOS has got enough affluent people and quite big income per capita, although there is small investment in the tourism sector so far. To give you an idea about the island's assets that could be used and in tourism as a base, excuse me. To give you a brief idea about the island's assets, I'm going to mention the intact nature with hiking paths, green and diversified flora and fauna, due to the island's location among two continents, the green and rocky mountains, hot springs, beautiful beaches, caves, monuments, archaeological sites, medieval villages, UNESCO monuments like Nea Moni Monastery. You can see all this on our website also and have an idea. Excuse me. Our strategic goals in tourism are we want to achieve a mild and sustainable development of tourism infrastructure and services. We would like to achieve better accessibility for Chios Island through air and sea, and have a more recognizable brand in Greece and abroad, and also have a more extended tourist period, which now is very small, only July and August. To achieve these goals, we have taken some actions. As Mr. Athanasselis told you, the Special Managing Authority, through the operational program of the region, has tried to motivate investments in tourism, both in private and public sectors. We also try, through our promotional efforts, to retarget our clients and appeal to younger people. And we also have tried to rebrand. We assigned a branding study to reveal the characteristic of the characteristics of the island and its identity, both to the locals and to the visitors. You can see here what the study has brought to the fore. It has stressed out the natural asset of the island. The bottom line of the promotional proposal is Chios loved by nature, because, as I told earlier, due to the island's location between two continents, Europe and Asia, Chios has a rich flora and fauna, has rare plants and flowers, birds that migrate from Asia or Africa to Northern Europe. So there is a great interest for the visitor there. It also has given emphasis to Chios culture. We have a great medieval heritage due to the island's history, and the island was occupied by the Genoese back in the medieval times, and then by the Ottomans. So it has a rich history. It has castles, Byzantine monuments and villages, churches and monasteries. It also has stressed out the outdoor activities, the possibilities of hiking, biking, plant observation. The well-being section is another interesting one, because there are hot baths in Chios. And of course, Chios can also support the sea and sun tourist product, because there are a lot of beautiful beaches on the island. The gastronomic, the culinary tradition of the island was studied by a separate study, which had as a result the formation of the first core of local businesses who have adopted this philosophy of using local products and promoting traditional recipes in the restaurants. The logo they use in their businesses is this: taste like Chios. The unique products of Chios are Chios natural gum mastic, a natural resin from Chios mastic tree, which is also the cultivation of the mastic tree is protected by UNESCO, because it is made for centuries in the same way with the same traditional tools. Chios mandarin. We have a lot of orchards in campus area, which is a very interesting area that combines natural beauty with architectural interest. And of course, local spirits like Chios Ouzo, Chios mastic liqueur, and Chios Suma. We have made an effort of including all this in our website, which is chios.gr. I don't know if I can reach. Yes, We have given emphasis to some themes like Homer and his connection to Chios. Homer is the world famous ancient epic poet, and it's known that he is connected to Chios. The tradition says that he lived here. We also have a special unit about medieval villages and monuments, campus area, and Chios Mastija. On our website, we have tried to give access to local businesses. They can register their contacts, their websites, in 4 categories: hotels, apartments, homes and villas, and agencies. To conclude this presentation, I would say that tourism in Chios may still be a small sector, but has a lot of potential and offers challenges. A challenge might be to promote innovative tourism services based on the island's rich natural and cultural resources. Another interesting perspective is to propose new functionalities for our website and ways to develop its visibility and efficient information. Thank you. And if you have any questions, I'm willing to help.
Right. Thank you very much, Mrs. Kova. I'm providing the island's identity for our participants. Has Mr. Bofilatos joined us already? If not, I would like to continue with Mr. Plakotaris from Kiss the Earth. Perfect. Costa, the floor is yours. I can't hear you correctly. No. Unfortunately, technology is not on our side today.
We should abolish technology then.
In any case, we'll make it work. No, I can hear some noise on the background, but not your voice. Let's give it a second or two. Apologies to our participants, but... we still can't hear you. Let me continue with Stathis and Katerina, and we will come back to you in a while. Okay. Stathis, hello. I really wish you can hear us and we can hear you as well. All right. Thank God we have too many speakers for today, so we can continue with Mr. Marinakis if possible. So if any participant has any questions until we fix all our technical issues for the day, you're welcome to express them at the moment. Kostas, do you think we can try another and once more? No. Maybe use your headphones. That could work. I think I can hear you now.
Can you?
I can
Great.
hear sounds. Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Saving the day.
Great.
Let's
So,
go.
I can tell you a few things about our company called Kiss the Earth, based in Chios Island. And I will be happy if you have any question or anything. I'll try to be brief, and sometimes you will probably hear to a personal story going side by side with a business story. But this is it. So I was born and raised in Chios, and I studied in England in Manchester University. And I did my postgraduate studies in England, and after that I returned to Chios, where I worked at a company called Masticha Shop, the company of the Chios Masticha growers, and then I switched to another company, and then depression came to our country, and I believe that that was at the moment I thought it was the worst time of my life, but now that I see it 10 years later, it was the greatest thing that came to my life, probably. Uh, I had to. I was working for a food company here in the island, and one day they told me that they will have to reduce my salary, and I started fighting and all that. And one day I decided to to stay home, to leave the job and do nothing, stay home for a couple of months and think what I will do. And when I did that, I started doing sports and running and uh, working out. And one day I was searching over the internet for protein food so I can eat after my workouts or long runs. And I found peanut butter as a natural source of protein. And that was amazing because I started buying peanut butter from the supermarket, but one day I thought that, okay, I spent so much money on peanut butter that I prefer to buy my own peanuts, roast them, and make my own peanut butter at home. That's what I did. Uh, I started doing it like a passion at home for myself. And one day my wife told me, you do that thing very nice. Why don't you try to make it like a company? You worked in two food companies in the past. Why don't you try to make it like a peanut butter from Chios? I started laughing because our island does not make peanuts or nuts generally. But I thought that I will be clear with our customers and tell them that it's not made by Heian peanuts, but it's made in our island by a small family business. And we want you to live a myth similar to mine, which is eat peanut butter to feed your body after sports or when you want to give energy to yourself when you wake up in the morning. I asked a friend who's designer to make labels for our peanut butter jars. And in the summer 2017, we started selling in bio stores in Chios Island. The love from customers was amazing. People started buying these few jars. We made, let's say that nowadays, when we make peanut butter, we make at least 1,000 jars. That day, when we started, we made 50 jars all day, one by one, putting the label on hand, and it was really difficult. So after that, after August 2017, we started posting on the internet our photos about, look, we are here and we make peanut butter in Chios. And in September, we had some phone calls from shops in Athens. I'm proud to say that the first selling in a shop in Athens was delivered by me myself. They called me in the morning and I took a box of 10 jars, took the ship that same day. And the next day went to the shop in Athens and gave them their order. And I told them that I wanted to, to live that expansion myself. So after 1 year, a supermarket chain from Munich in Germany called us and asked for our products. We did our first export. After a couple of weeks, they called us from Paris, from London, and from the Czech Republic. And the company keeps on expanding. In the meantime, we try to participate in international food awards, which is done in London, and where 10,000 products participate, and only 2,000 products are successful there. And we won 3 times awards in in our category in butters. We started with peanut butter. Now we have 8 tastes, with cocoa, with honey from Chios, and with almond butter, cashews. We make many different nuts. We turn them into butters, and we make also bars, energy bars. So now we started with one product, and after 5 years we have 8. I love to say that we're not in the food business, we are in the fun business, because it looks like expansion comes out of doing what we love. It looks like peanut butter found us at home and told us to save ourselves from the depression and from all these problems we had at that period. I had to. I would love to ask the participants of the product of the program this. Many times we have problems in finding natural raw materials in good prices, or finding retail shops, like having an organized database of retail shops in Greece or abroad. It would be useful to have an organized method of checking for new raw materials, and also a place where shops from all over Europe or Greece or the world can search for producers and see what would you do and your prices and all that. I would ask for help on that. Maybe how someone can find raw materials and find selling points over the internet, over the database. That's our small story. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Kostas. This is a real life paradigm of how normal activities can become one's passion and bring a product or a business from 0 to million, right?
From your kitchen to a business.
Yes. And it starts from an idea that may at first seem unachievable, but really the lesson we learn from you today is that nothing is impossible if you put your mind to it.
Exactly.
And thanks a lot about your questions to the participants. I hope someone is inspired by them, how we can find raw materials and how we can find more selling points to develop and evolve our businesses.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot. Now, if Stathis and Katerina are ready, otherwise, I see Petros is online, so let us check. Whoever can be heard will continue. You can try unmuting and we will see. Petros, give it a try to use your headphones, please. As you know, technical issues today have taken their toll. Yes. I do urge participants to ask any questions at any point of these presentations. We will gather them all and ask our speakers. So you are invited to ask your questions. Stathis, does the problem continue? Or maybe you can use your headphones as well. And we can't see you. Maybe opening your camera would be beneficial. I have already received some questions, but they are of technical issue, and I would like to address them after all our speakers have concluded with their presentations. So, Petros, please try once more if possible, because I know that Stathis has not resolved his technical issues. So, as we're waiting for the rest of our speakers, I'd like to say some words about what hackathons are and what we are doing here at the ERUA Hackathon, okay? Hackathons overall are entrepreneurial competitions aiming to unveil innovative and sustainable business ideas, sustainable from a financial perspective. Hackathons aim to address contemporary issues. On our case, we are trying to resolve contemporary issues in the region of the North Aegean. And in this framework, the main objective of the ERUA Hackathon is to find solutions by generating ideas and connect with different cultures. This is exactly why we are focusing on creating transdisciplinary communities within the ERUA Hackathon. This is not only focused on Greek students or French students or Danish students or Bulgarian students. We are going to create an integrated community here. And ideas from students are going to be connected with the experiences of young citizens in order to have a wider spectrum. So the first ERUA Hackathon is titled Accelerating Aegean Islands, Entrepreneurial, Sustainable, Resilient, Creative, and multi-inter-transdisciplinary communities. That is, we are trying to find business ideas to develop the region of the North Aegean by considering the problems the region is facing, but not only the region, but also the local entrepreneurs. What are the challenges they are facing? So we have organized this event for you to get a better perspective of what it means to be an islander, of what the identity of the North Aegean Islands is. And we really wanted you to take, to have a perspective on what the assets and the background of the islands is. So this is our overall scope for the day. Just wanted to repeat the 3 challenges we have set within the ERUA Hackathon. We have green, blue entrepreneurship, which is highly correlated with sustainable entrepreneurship. Transforming blue economy for a sustainable future. I don't know if every one of you is well aware of what blue economy is, but it mostly focuses on sectors like tourism, fisheries, etc. And creating multi-inter-transdisciplinary communities. So what we are trying to do here today, create these communities, we are asking you to do as well. Like, how can you take advantage of the isolated character of the islands to create integrated communities with people from different backgrounds? I think Petros is ready now. I sure do hope so. But I still can't hear you. Ah, Jesus. So I have a question in the chat that I think Mr. Plakotaris could answer. How are local businesses informed about developments on a European level? And I am asking Kostas about this because he mentioned that a lot of European communicated with him. Is that correct? For having your products? Kostas, I hope you can hear me.
I can, of course.
Thank you.
I was responding to a question here.
Okay. So yes, how are local businesses informed about developments on a European level? And I'm asking you because you mentioned that companies from Europe did communicate with you to have your products.
Yes, mostly they communicate with me over the internet. I can tell you my experience. I was the first selling person who sold Mastiha products to pharmacies. I was working for the Mastiha Growers Association, and I did that, and I did it like this. I took samples and went to shops and tried to convince them. And after that, I did that for small bio stores, and ultimately, I made some meetings with supermarkets. But when I made my own company, I found out that things have changed dramatically. I see that you post a photo, and the same time they start asking you about product properties, when somebody can find your product, and people go to stores and say, look, I saw this jar in an internet post, why don't you bring it to your shop? So in the past, we used to see our customers like the shopkeepers, but early I realized that my customers are just people who walk in the street, not shopkeepers, because this will be the driving force that will bring my products to shops. So that is retail basics class 1, but not for everybody. You think that stores are your clients, but shoppers are. So the internet is the main method, let's say, that people can find our products. They send us emails, chats over Facebook or Instagram or all that, and that's what we do. On the contrary, not many e-shops are successful in selling food products, like they sell music or books or computers. It's not, I can say that it's not a successful method to sell food over the internet. That's
Okay,
it.
however, you have adjusted your marketing strategies in a way to attract the normal shoppers, the normal customers, the everyday people.
Exactly. What I did is when I firstly heard about almond butter, and somebody when I posted about almond butter, they started sending me messages if somebody can fry it with it. So when you hear butter, it doesn't mean that it's a nut butter for many people. It means that it's made from a cow. So When I firstly made an almond butter, I started posting photos about how that almond butter can be used. If you put it on bread with banana or honey, or make pancakes and top them with that. So you must find solutions for your customers. That's the result.
All right. If Miss Kova is with us still, I would like to address her a question on whether.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so I was wondering whether your institution has any means of communicating, let's say, the assets of Chios Island to European agencies or European institutions. Do you have any communication of the sort?
We attend tourism exhibitions a lot, where we meet with foreign agencies and make presentations there. The GNTO offices, the Greek National Tourism Organizations, local offices abroad, help us a lot to do presentations. And also we try with digital marketing and some advertisements in magazines and digital media. I think we could do more. That's the truth.
For sure. The enemy of good is the best. That's what they say.
Yeah, always.
So,
We also do farm trips, familiarization trips. We call journalists and agents to visit, and we guide them around the island and sightseeing.
okay. So, if we asked you to do a needs assessment, what would you say is the gap that could be filled with a new business idea?
I think we could do more with digital media, with social media. That's why I addressed the challenge about our website also. If someone comes up with a new idea about a new function for our website or a new app connected to our website and promoting some special possibilities for HEOS, that would be great.
Okay. So, to better facilitate our participants, I would ask for Mr. Kalognomos to share a challenge that may be of interest on a European level, always focusing on the three challenges we have set within the ERUA Hackathon.
Challenge of interest. That's tricky. From what I said, for instance, if you could please help me.
Let's say regarding the how could we transform blue economy for a sustainable future? Give us a subcategory of
Yeah.
that.
So it depends, because blue economy, or in fact, let me put it differently. All main EU policies that we are working on have a blue economy aspect. When I said the cultural and creative industries or the circular economy, they all have a blue dimension. When it comes to cultural and creative industries, when we set up this partnership, because we're still trying to boost a bit more the blue aspect. We said that, okay, culture and creative can be also maritime special planning, could be maritime archaeologies, could be traditional shipbuilding. So this is culture and creative and blue. When it comes to circular economy, I'm sure that recycling old nets and use them also for the fashion industry, because fashion industry is also culture and creative. Could be also, maybe it could be the beach towels, for instance. Blue, cultural, creative,
Or
and
even
fashion.
socks.
Socks, what? Yeah, or um, um,
Shoes as
shoes
well.
with recycled plastics.
Banks. There are a lot of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
products that can be
Or
connected.
when we visited the Chios, we also went to the Tholos shipyards.
Correct.
So digital technologies could also be used by traditional shipbuilding industry to first of all to save and to safeguard the cultural heritage when it comes to shipbuilding, but also to exchange with shipyards from other regions of Europe, best practice, and keep and preserve traditional shipbuilding methods. So there are different challenges if I answer your question, but still, blue can be everything. When it comes to cohesion policy, the different EU funds have a blue aspect. When it comes to transport, blue for sure. Circular economy, sustainable tourism can be both cultural and blue. For the cultural coastal heritage or for the underwater cultural heritage. And young people are, first of all, let me remind, I don't remember if I mentioned it. This year is the European Year of Skills. Last year it was the European Year of Youth, this year of Skills. We have from a project within this youth and skills part. There is also the European Pact for Skills. So we need young people through their associations, through their student groups and organizations to get back to us to see with their politicians in the North Aegean, in elsewhere, and see how we could benefit from this. And also a question I put on the chat, but I'm not sure that I'd like also to ask the other panelists when it comes to SMEs. How do they are first of all, are they aware of the EU policies and the latest developments? Do they participate in public consultation when it is launched? Are they aware of the did they, for instance, contribute to the revision of the Adriatic Ionian strategic plan for the next period? We could also see how we could fill in this gap. And if the information doesn't arrive to them, make sure that the next time that we'll contact our members, they will be somehow informed, and so on.
All right. Thanks a lot, Stavros, providing us another dimension, including nautical heritage and and traditional shipbuilding heritage. The same question goes for Mr. Katsounis if he's with us as well. Um, how could blue economy be better taken advantage of?
In the North Aegean region or in Greece or in the European
In the
Union?
North Aegean region.
In the North Aegean, yes. Um, First of all, the European Commission have understood that it is necessary to overcome the term growth, and it has adopted with the new communication in 2021 the term sustainable development. And now Blue Economy emphasizes on both the economic and social development and environmental preservation. The North Aegean, in my opinion, is an ideal laboratory for the implementation of an integrated blue economy strategy, because it has it doesn't have the negative impacts compared to other regions like South Aegean. For example, we all know the negative impacts of the improper use of blue economy sectors, the cruise in Santorini, and the phenomenon of the over tourism. And I think it is an ideal area, North Aegean, because it combines the creativity of their people, especially in Chios, who are great entrepreneurs and great seafarers and great ship owners. And I think that it is necessary to create a blue economy cluster, which will include all the sectors of the blue economy, both the emerging and the emerged. For example, the University of the Aegean will be an innovator and will be an accelerator to improve the knowledge about blue economy sectors and their potential to sustainable development of the area. We have the university, we have middle schools for nautical jobs. We have enterprises for circular economy and bioeconomy. The nautical tourism is not uh, uh, so developed in this area, but we can make steps to adopt policies related to these sectors. I think that the future
It's
is bright
bright.
for us.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. We still have some technical issues with the live um, audio from Petros Marinakis, but we have your video. Ah, please talk again. I think I heard something.
Did you? Does it work?
Oh my
Finally?
God. Finally.
Okay.
All right. We are very glad to hear you. You have the
I'm very
floor.
glad to be here. Okay.
Tell us
So
your history first, Petros. Your history.
okay, I am an undergraduate student at the University of Beijing in the Oceanography and Marine Biosciences department. I'm currently 19 years old, and I've always had a fascination with the ocean, and I've been given the opportunity to develop that excitement over the years, and especially with my area of interest in the university. So I was um, in charge of the idea of the project Aware, which is based on an app that aims to solve real life issues regarding the betterment of our oceans. It stems um, from the lack of actual uh, helpful communication hubs and action centers regarding um, volunteer actions to preserve the 71% of the Earth's surface, basically. So, um, my aim with the Project Aware was to create that space for collaboration among everyone, among peers in the scientific field, among the general public, organizations, um, you name it. So it is a social platform, really, but with a scientific aim. And it consists of several segments. The first one is the news segment, which incorporates um big organizations like NOAA and HCMR and the universities all over the world, and they can share with experts the current affairs of the scientific world regarding uh, the blue, the deep blue. Um, and this is a way for people to get sensitized with the environment, the aquatic environment, and be encouraged to act, which is another segment of this proposed app, the Actions Center, which actually would have an integrated map that shows in real time uh, environmental emergencies that people can respond to or report. Those reports are visible to anyone, and first and foremost, experts and even the local authorities. Um, and there is also a Q&A section. The Q&A section um, has two parts. The first one is for peer conversation and consulting. So it makes it easier for um, experts in different areas, like a biological or oceanographer and a physicist and that deals with hydrodynamics, for example, to uh, collaborate and ask each other questions regarding a study, perhaps. But it's also for the general public, which can ask questions and be answered by experts. And the top questions uh, will be pinned somewhere. So the FAQ, frequently asked questions, so people can advise advise them. The end goal is basically a better chance at saving our oceans, because they are in their quality is in decline. So
All right.
that is
So, if I get it correctly, you have developed a platform that is somehow like Reddit, let's say, where people can ask questions and experts can communicate with each other and provide answers on how to save the oceans. Is my
well,
understanding correct?
yeah, that's part of it. That's part of it. Basically, you can think of it of the first segment is an Instagram feed with
Mm-hmm.
news, aquatic news. The second segment is the Action Center,
Mm-hmm.
which has a map and alerts for
Mm-hmm.
environmental emergencies. And yes, the third section is the Reddit-like
Yeah.
uh, section. Yeah.
Very, very nice. Um, Very nice. You haven't
Thank you.
developed the platform yet, correct?
No. I have only developed the framework,
Mhm.
and I have some indicative screenshots.
Oh, so the reason of you being here today um, is a case study for our participants to see what a business idea seems like, okay? And you are also asking for other participants that would like to become a part of your team to continue
Well,
this project.
yeah, anyone is welcome to join. This was mainly like a preliminary desktop study for this app, which I also presented in the Hackathon.
Mhm.
Um,
All right.
yeah,
Um,
it has more aspects. It is actually a bit more developed than what I described. It has some business and entrepreneurial aspects, which are um, a bit more complex,
mhm.
like a point and reward system within
Ah,
the app. Yeah.
that's interesting. Okay. So let me jump right to Stathis and check if his connection is okay, if he can be heard now. Um, Stathis has also been a part of the ERUA Ideathon and is here for the same reasons to present his business idea, which has not of yet been developed, and attract other participants within his group to compete in Hackathon. But I still can't hear him, so let's jump to your video, Petros. If our team is ready, we can upload it now.
I am Petros Marinakis, an 18-year-old student from the University of Aegean in the Oceanography and Marine Biosciences department. I have developed a passion for the aquatic world from a very young age, with a simple mask and snorkel. I now continue exploring this amazing world as I have recently received the certification for open water diving. If there's one thing I have learned in my pursuit of knowledge on the deep blue, it is that we must under no circumstances allow for its natural wonders decay. And this is where you come in, because without your help, none of this is possible. This is why I am proud to present to you Project Aware. Project Aware has its basis on a simple yet effective app, which aims to bring closer the general public, students, experts, and organizations all around the world in the most coordinated mass attempt to preserve 71% of the Earth's surface and keep that pale blue dot blue.
Right. Very nice video, I should say.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It is of marketing essence, right?
With that in mind, yeah.
Right. Stathis, please give it once more a try. If it doesn't work now, we're just gonna jump onto questions, the technical ones for our participants. Okay. So I will be sure to invite you on site 24th to 26th of May. So you can participate in the competition if you like, but also present your idea to the rest of the participants, because I really think it is of the essence for them to hear about Nomad School. So I don't see any questions in the chat, so I'll jump right to the technical issues, the technical questions I have received for the moment. So this is the only master classes event that is going to take place. Okay, all of our speakers were invited today, and provided their perspective upon the three challenges set within the ERUA Hackathon. The next steps are on the 6th and the 13th of May. They are called bootcamps. On the first bootcamp, the teams are going to be created and participants are going to be informed about what the business plan is and how we want you to develop your concept plan, okay? On the second bootcamp, on the 13th of May, we are going to ask you to tell us your business ideas, just brainstorm all over the place. You're going to be aided in this effort by our coaches. There's going to be an announcement on that soon, okay? I see a question in the chat from Mikkel regarding what is the easiest way to travel to the island from Denmark. I would say, from my experience, the best way would be to take an airplane from Denmark to Athens and then maybe get the ferry from Piraeus to Chios. It is a long trip, but it's not a direct flight, I think, so this will satisfy you the most, I believe, also economically. So during the two book, Ms. Kova, you wanted to say something?
I would like to say that there are air connections from Athens to Chios.
Yeah, sure.
There is a good correspondence for the flights, and it's an easier way to access the island.
Yeah, for sure.
The prices are a little bit higher than the ferry, of course, but it's easier that way.
So, Michael, I think we have responded to your question. Thank you, Mrs. Kova. Now, regarding the bootcamps, they're going to be online events, both of them, so you are welcome to join. Our speakers can join the bootcamps as well and act as coaches, but we would like you to express your interest in case you want to be included. By the end of the second bootcamp, we would like all participants to have developed the structure, the skeleton of a business idea in order for them to submit the first plan. This is because we would like the coaches to have a look at the concept plan and provide their feedback on the 24th, 25th, and on the 24th and 25th of May in Chios. So this way, it's going to be a more concrete plan, if you will. Okay, so from the 13th to the 24th of May, what you will have to do is look over the business plan you have developed up until the 13th when you submit it, and maybe optimize it a bit until the 24th when you're going to receive the feedback from the coaches. On the 26th, there's going to be an awards ceremony. So you're going to present your business plans, your business idea holistically to a jury panel. And we're going to have 3 award-winning proposals. I think that's all I had to say. Now I would invite Irini Papadopoulou, who is the project manager of the ERUA in the University of the Aegean, to express anything.
Hello, everybody, and thank you very much that you have participated in this pilot for us case as master classes. We had a lot of technical problems, but the idea, we know this, and the idea behind this is to connect each other with what we are talking or what we are thinking, what we have written already under different initiatives, different collaborations that we have already developed in this partnership. Before I will say some other issues, I have a question for Petros. Petros, is there any possibility for the application of aware to be used for other initiatives, such as, for example, about tourism for hills as a tourism destination, for example, in environmental in, environmental initiatives and excursions, something like that. Is there such possibility, or can be used? Or is there any other possibility to be used for connect the branding of hues, labeling for the quality of taste? To be used from the efforts that are going on from the tourism office in Chios can be supported for this for local initiatives, or to help enterprises, local enterprises such as Mirovolos, or local products such as from Costas, from Kiss the Earth, or other ones can be used. Can you hear me, Petros? No. Are you here, Petros?
Okay, it's perfectly fine. We can ask him on a later stage. I think he's also going to be in Chios, correct? So
I also think that such discussions will be more often organized by us to connect with our societies and universities as well for open dialogues. And we are preparing the Science Cafe, a digital one initiative that we want to open a dialogue with local communities. What problems, what are their problems, what they need, and how we can support them as universities, and because we have a lot of resources, and the knowledge is produced in universities. So how can we can support it, and how we can connect them with other universities as well, because sometimes we would, for example, in Aegean, we produce new knowledge in a lot of fields, but maybe in the other universities produce more in other fields. So it will be a huge repository of knowledge to support our regions behind this. ERUA is an opportunity. That's the one I want to say. I don't know about practical issues that Markella, you have covered everything. We will be back soon through correspondence to communicate with you. And I hope during the boot camps to create new teams, to work together as a team to plan a business plan. Okay, something like that. Okay.
Perfect. If I may, I would like all speakers to open their cameras on this stage so we can have a screenshot and maybe post on our social media, which is also of importance for ERUA. We are talking about communication and connection after all. So I would invite Stavros and Yannis to open your cameras as well. Right. All right. Perfect. So say cheese. Okay. Thanks everyone for participating in this event today. Your contribution has been of the essence, both for us in ERUA, but also for our participants. We will be very glad to continue this cooperation with everyone. And maybe you can be a part of the on-site ERUA Hackathon as well, which is taking place on the 24th to 26th of May. We will be sure to invite you. So have a nice afternoon and thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Good
Thank you,
afternoon.
Markella.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.